Howdy folks, my name's Christian and welcome to Bullish on Farming. Today you're looking at our new starter flock of Dorper sheep, baby. We're stoked about it. Found a lady with a hobby farm who was given a good deal on some Dorper sheep, and we were in the market for them and happy to turn them out to this pasture. This will be the second day. Today is November 13th that the sheep have been on the farm. Been busy running around and doing some stuff at the other farm and our farm the past couple days, but wanted to make a video to check in with our new flock. We got 5 ewes, 1 ewe lamb, and an unrelated proven ram running with our flock here. And I decided to keep the ram in with the group. He was separated at the previous farm he came from. And it's just about that time for April lambs. If you're looking to, lamb in April, to put the ram in now. I was originally thinking May that I was going for lambs, but we calve at the other farm then, and I don't have a ramming pen, so it was just easier for me to put them in with the group. And so what? We'll have some April lambs, and I'll talk about what we'll be doing with our lambing pens in that horse barn. So this pasture area was previously used as horse paddocks. And I'll talk a little bit about what I did to accustom it to the sheep. First of all, I think he took off horses about a month and a half ago, so it's nothing to brag about in here. But for a small flock of 7, there's some good stuff. And for those of you who know about sheep, they eat a wide variety of vegetation. So all the weeds in here, I saw him going after some of that thick bristly stuff along the fence line. I was happy to see that. They should have well enough to forage in this one paddock, and we got a symmetrical paddock on the other side of this fence. So what I did was I dropped the tensile wire down to just below my kneecap. And these fences done with cedar rails are pretty well done. I'm not too worried about sheep getting out, but I do want them consistently trained to wire. And so I put that wire down there. And I did it before the sheep were in here, but I'm pretty happy with the height. If we turn them out to pasture that's not fenced like this, it's probably going to be double wire. But anyways, we'll talk more about that down the line. The fencer I got working with this tensile is not that strong. I think it only puts out 1 kV. And well, we got a livestock guardian pup coming in today to join the group. She's 3 months. And she's going to live exclusively with the sheep. And I wanted her trained to wire as well. And for those of you who have used, fences before, that 1 kV is not that hot. I didn't want a 3-month-old pup to be getting, shocked by that much heat. I just want her to know her barriers. And for this whole winter season, I want this to be her whole world. Inside this fencing, inside that fencing, both paddocks. And I want her to really own it, bond with the sheep, know her quarters, and really stand ground here to deter any type of predator pressure that feels inclined. And these cedar fences, I feel pretty decent about her at the size that she's at, that she's not really going to be getting through those. Although I did patch up some patches that were quite larger there, you can see just with some pallet wood. And so we got a 3-wall enclosure to keep the sheep out of the elements when they're just on pasture, because that's the idea. And we got that on the other side as well. Let's take a look at our sheep a little closer here. Some of them have started shedding more than others. And for those of you who may be more experienced with Dorper sheep, you can maybe give me a little bit of information on shedding and when they start to shed and at what age they really start to consistently shed. These ewes that we have are about 1.5 years old. And they'll be first time lambing in the spring. I know it's a little wiser to get pregnant ewes who are more experienced with lambing. But I found a good deal and these were the ones available, and you got to start somewhere. a big problem that a lot of people have is they're in analysis paralysis, trying to get everything so perfect that they delay farming for a couple years. And so, you know, I've been farming for some years, and I know that, you know, with good management, you could set up your animals for success and be doing quite well. And so we hope for the best. For the most part, these sheep do look healthy. And I do want to mention that one of the sheep, one of the ewes, she wasn't looking so hot. She was a little thinner than the rest, and, you know, she was standing off from the group, and it's that one right there, that ewe who just looked at us. And her eyes were kind of dull. And so I separated her off from the group last night because I am aware of the worming that can happen in sheep. And on the farm they were at before, they didn't have this much space. So just coming on to our new farm, I wanted to section her off. And what I did was I gave her a garlic juice treatment. Just minced up some garlic cloves and gave her, you know, 1 ounce shot down the throat, used the bottle. And the next morning you see her eyes light up. She's brighter, she's eating more, and she's moving with the flock. And, you know, I gave some garlic juice and some dry feed for these girls last night and the ram, just so everyone could get a dose. And I think I'm going to stay consistent with that daily for the next week, just to act as a preventative to any worming that might be happening in this flock. Again, you know, she said to her awareness that none of them have worms. But for me, bringing it on my farm and wanting to be safe and starting off strong for my sheep, the garlic juice can't do any harm. And I know there's some folks out there who say, yeah, you know, there's all that stuff is hoopla, diatomaceous earth, natural remedies. And, you know, I manage organic farms, so experientially, I got to say that stuff has worked well for us. Okay, I'm not going to say that it absolutely works universally. I'm just going to say whenever I use it in the proper way, rolling, you know, a pinch of diatomaceous earth in with the cattle's mineral, in with the pig's feed, we don't have worming, okay? Of course, it happens, folks, but I'm just saying I haven't personally dealt with any bad worming using those proactive measures. And we've had to get creative like that when you are working within organic context. And so, yeah, this girl I expect to fill out and, you know, keep eating and getting nourished and feeling better. I can already see it in her eyes. I mean, the brightness in her eyes was kind of gone when I had seen her yesterday evening. But yeah, so this is our ram right here, and he's about 2 years old. He looks like a good ram. For those of you who know about sheep, please, if you have a productive commentary or suggestions, anything that you think might help our operation here, please feel free to share. I am on the beginning of my sheep journey, but and those of you who've been following this channel know I'm more of a cattle and a pig guy. But I do have an affinity for the ruminant animal moving across landscape. And, you know, fate has brought me to a small flock of Dorpers, baby. And God bless them, God bless us, and hope for the best. So before I close this video out, you know, you could take a look at some of our ewes here. Still a little shy. Been on the farm for under 36 hours. And, you know, see, this girl hasn't really shed as much as the others yet. But still more time, and we'll see. I want to show you guys what we got going on in the barn. The scary guys coming after us. Because I think it's pretty neat. I just mounted some straw here to give them a little bit of a step up to get at that water trough. I'm unsure if they figured it out yet. I do have some, you know, water tubs in the barn, just buckets that I fill. But haven't seen a sheep drink yet out of the trough. See if this girl wants to go. All right, lady, we don't have time for this. All right, so let's check out the barn. So this is our barn here. The guy who built it did a beautiful job. You got 2 feed troughs in there for horses. You know, if we ever got a donkey to protect the group, that would be great for it. We got a horse stall here. Great size. Could use this as a lambing pen in the spring is what I'm thinking. Might even be able to section it off into a couple pens. And then we got a nice big stall in here that I've bedded down. And could break this one up into 2 or 3 lambing pens. No problem. If we have to, I was thinking we could use these stalls as lambing pens as well. Maybe just do a bit of work. It's covered from the draft coming in, but that might not be necessary. And you know, the dog's going to be sleeping with the sheep every night, but in the first few nights, I might just give him this stall or her that stall instead of and put the flock in here just to avoid any horseplay or, you know, juvenile violence, either the ram going after the dog or the dog nipping at ewes, whatever it might be, just to avoid that at the beginning while they're still bonding during the day out on pasture. I'll have the flock in here, the dog in here. He'll smell them. He'll know this is home and that the sheep belong here. I keep saying he, it's a she. We have a dog and it's a boy, so that's probably why. But even still, you know, I keep my dog out on leash on our front lawn just in front of the cabin there. And that just gives some canine presence and marking some territory to hopefully keep some predator pressure away in the meantime. Because that 3-month-old pup, I don't trust to be, you know, quite at the point to guard yet. Right now, we're really just focusing on giving her good guidance, her bonding with the flock, and encouraging livestock guardian behavior that we want. And so that's going to be a whole journey in of itself. But yeah, folks, just wanted to check in on the sheep, introduce them to you guys, and show you another thing that we'll be bringing on this channel. So once again, I'd like to say thanks for stopping by, and God bless y'all. We'll see you on the next one.